Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're here to watch Courtney Shortney from Pruvit. This is a video that was sent to me a while ago. Just a heads up, this was recorded before Jessie Lee's passing. I haven't watched the whole thing, so just a heads up if she mentioned Jessie Lee so that you know that this was before everything happened. It just took me a long time to kind of get around to it and react to it. I don't think I spoke about Courtney in the past, maybe like once, but yeah, please ignore my light in the kitchen as well. There's some weird flickering on my camera in the back, like where the dark spots are. I don't know why, I don't understand. Like, we got big windows, the lighting is pretty good, like it's not that dark, but yeah, I've just been having a lot of technical difficulties. Before we get into the video itself, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button if you would like to support my channel. That's a nice free way to do that. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. And let's just get into this training. I don't think it's long, so we're not gonna be here for too long.
Hello, 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 beautiful people. It is Courtney Alexandra Shepherd. You can also call me because I couldn't see myself. You guys can also call me hashtag Courtney Shortney, and I am live in North Texas. I did have surgery on my appendix, my first surgery ever, on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. So however many days, this morning at 9 a.m. was 72 hours post-op. My belly looks, really weird. I birthed all three of my babies. I know it's weird because I have like this black chair behind me. Let me see if this will help. I birthed all three of, here, does that help? I birthed all three of my babies. I'm kind of like show you guys too. It's just really weird. Like my belly button there. I birthed all three of my babies all naturally. So I did not have this, literally my first surgery ever. They blew up gas inside of they cut me open in 3 spaces. They got the appendix out. Most everyone thinks it's food poisoning at first, although in the back of my mind, I kept wondering, because I know where my appendix are, like, what is happening? Is this reality here? But that's not what I'm gonna talk to you guys today. For those of you guys who don't know me, I lead an international network marketing business, and I love what I do, coach busy moms into building 6- and 7-figure incomes from their phones using our unique trademark systems that allow them to...
Don't you just love a good opportunity call? Like, look how great this business is. I literally had my first surgery ever in my life, and 72 hours post-op, I'm here live streaming on Instagram and Facebook. Like, don't you just love that? Wouldn't you love to do this job where you literally have to hustle right after you had surgery? Yeah, that sounds great already, Courtney. I'm intrigued.
Scale their businesses with confidence. And I'm going to talk to you guys about sacrifices, because 5 years ago, I said yes. And one of the biggest things that I say very often is, you want to know how well something works, stop doing it. And the biggest thing for me was that I was so scared to say yes. But once I said yes...
I personally love when MLM reps say that if something's not working for you, you have to stop doing it, which can literally be applied to MLMs, because the majority of people are working the biz for months, for years, without making any profit. So yeah, that's a great advice, Courtney. If something is, aka MLM business, is not working for you, but you're trying for a while now, you should absolutely quit, stop, and start doing something else.
Failure was not an option for me. I knew I was going to be willing to make sacrifices. I knew that I knew that I had to set the standards on what I was allowing those sacrifices to look like for myself. Hi, Lisa. I love you so much. And my flowers are still beautiful, by the way. What I was allowing that to look like for myself. And the call that I had opened up as an opportunity for you guys today, we had the Empire, literally the #1 team in network marketing, fastest growing team. One of the really cool parts is that our organization also has, in many areas, one of the fastest growing teams inside of our team. Our organization is shifting the way things are happening inside of Pruvit as a whole. So like it is just the space to be in. So if you guys missed that call earlier today, you just drop call in the comments. Actually DM me the word call, CALL. If you guys know that you are interested in learning more about it, if you guys have felt the pain point of not being able to take your first family vacation, if you guys have ever felt the pain point of not having the savings fund, if you've ever felt the pain point of, you know, not being able to just even say yes to the normal things like, or what we feel like are normal, the things that we feel like are normal, like being able to put our kids in extra costly activities, not let alone private schools and things like that, or even being able to travel, the extra things like the family vacations, the confidence of the ability to homeschool because we don't need public school as a childcare system for our kids, you know, because I know that that's like a fear point for it, right? That's kind of why it aligns with our typical 8 to 5 lifestyle that we've been told that we're supposed to be in. And I kind of brought up the call because that was the opening line of
8 to 5 lifestyle at least gives you regular paychecks. You being in an MLM, in my opinion, you're in a predatory business model where facts are that 99% of people across all multi-level marketing companies never make any profit. And Pruvit's income disclosure statement is very bad as well. The majority of people don't make any profit. So back to bashing 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever, is really ridiculous to me because at least you have benefits, at least you get paid vacation, at least you get regular salaries for that, you have a retirement plan in most cases. And nowadays there's a lot of remote opportunities out there where you can do a 9 to 5 from your house, from your home, fully remotely, so you don't have to waste any time on commuting to work and back, and you still get regular paychecks and all the benefits. So it's still better than MLMs. Of
the call is all of the sacrifices that Jessie Lee shared that she has even made. Oh my gosh, I've taken so many notes, guys. You know, how can you get life to happen for you, not to you? How do you look at the situation as half full? How do you make sure that you are aligning yourself with the goodness? Because if you are looking at negativity, I promise you that you are getting more negativity. The negative things are happening. It's only a perspective, because if I looked at this surgery as something negative, that's exactly what it would be, you guys. It would be something terrible happening to me and my life, and like, I don't have insurance on purpose, okay? And all of these kind of signs that align, that's not what this is about, right? Because it's just, it's just a fact, okay? I don't have insurance. So then I have this cash option for my surgery. Then the surgeon sends a separate bill, and I'm finding all of these other things out. And I never at one point allowed myself to think this surgery was happening to me, nor did I think that it was a negative thing in my life. Okay? And so if you are looking at things that pop up, challenges that arise as opportunities to grow, as ways to, like, you're not looking at it like, it's kind of like, like I'm stuck or I'm in an opportunity of growth. It's just a perspective. And once you shift your perspective, you start to look for ways out of that challenge a little bit differently, right? Can I bottle that up and send it your way? I know, right? Exactly. And this, you don't just get here overnight. You get here through sacrifices. You get here through the obstacles. You get here by, as an example, okay, so Jessie Lee shared some of her sacrifices, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did this too. So it's funny, Madeline brought me this. I put this on during the call. And Jessie Lee gave this example of, sacrificing our time so often. Because whenever I bought my kit, okay, how many of you guys have, like, I hit those pain points and you're like, yes, me, oh my gosh, I've had the same challenges. I don't want to say no to things because of money. I want the emergency fund. I want to be able to not be worried about only the fact that I've only received one bill from my hospital, my 2 hospital visits and a surgery. I've received one bill for $800 just for the surgeon. Okay. So I've received one bill so far. And, knowing, okay, so the investing part of things, like we get to the investing part, and it's once we have invested in our business, okay, the price that we have paid to launch something new, to be able to afford these emergency pop-ups, to be able to like have extra cash, right? So we're like, okay, I'm going to start the side gig. I'm going to do this thing. It's scary, but I say yes. And let me just tell you, the startup cost with in network marketing companies and being able to have a link. I just got to clear this camera. I did not realize, guys, that. Okay, it was clean. Maybe it was clean. Maybe there's like some.
Okay, while she's getting distracted, let's take a glance at the pruvit income disclosure statement, which is also going to be linked in the description down below if you want to take a further look into it. The very lowest rank of over 11,000 distributors, they on average earned $10.48 annually in the whole year of 2022. This is bizarre. This is probably one of the worst income disclosure statements that I have ever seen. You can let me know down below if you can think of a income disclosure statement that is worse than this. When I have to say this, at least in some companies, the numbers on the lowest rank is like $119 a year or something. This is $10. Average annual is $10 a year. And she's talking about saving up, having an emergency fund. Where, Courtney? With what money? When the majority of people in pruvit earn, because this is not profit of $10 a year. Like, it's not even profit. They spend a lot more money on the starter kit, on other products that they buy and spend. I mean, Courtney herself, I think, said that she takes like 20 supplements every day, which is ridiculous in my opinion, especially if you have no health issues or anything like that. What the fuck are you taking all those supplements for? So it's just bizarre. I mean, even the rank above, the average earnings are $304, which again, this is not profit. So what emergency fund are people getting in pruvit, through pruvit, when the majority of them are not making a profit? It's all in your income disclosure statement.
Weird thing happening with the camera filter. I did not put a filter, so I don't know what happened. Looking at the, how do I get the return on investment faster? And if you guys have, it's the first time you're doing it, you don't actually realize the roller coaster of emotions that you get set into, and the ability to look at each opportunity as a challenge to rise above, as something that's happening for you, not to you, that you're not stuck, that you just need to learn and obtain new knowledge because you are maybe in a pain point, an intentional pain point, so that you can elevate yourself and grow to the next level. So what were your sacrifices that allowed you to start catching success, right? And the pain point of like, look, when you invest your money, you now have to sacrifice your time, and not be so scared to sacrifice your time. And back to these bracelets, okay? The sacrificing time of going out and partying or hanging out with your friends or a lunch date or, you know, whatever it is. And sometimes, guys, you are not going to be able to, when you're launching things, you do have to continue to sacrifice your time with your family. You don't get to launch a business and not have to sacrifice in some way, shape, or form. And as this example, having new conversations with people, because if you don't let them know you are in a new opportunity.
Just gonna say this, if you wanna go for a damn date, a lunch date, or anything that she just mentioned, just go for it. Like, as if you're trying to work your pruvit business instead of that, I can tell you right now that it's a waste of your time, and you are much better off going on a lunch date rather than working for free for pruvit.
And you go and start and just meet someone new, like, hey, Jen, it's so great to meet you. Jen reached her hand out to me. She came to my life. She started talking to me. But in real life, in a real person, okay, like she just had a new baby. So if I would see her baby, I'd be talking to her and be like, oh my gosh, Jen. And I would switch this over after I have this conversation. I would say, Jen, I would be like, oh my gosh, your baby is so sweet. Now, I would not be touching her baby because that's respectful. Okay, her baby is brand new. But I would be like back here. I was, oh, so precious. Congratulations, Mama. You're doing an amazing job, and I just want to say I am so proud of you. Look at you with the new baby out in public. And I would just start striking up a conversation. We would go back and forth. We would have a conversation. And shortly after that engagement where I can tell we like each other, I would say, hey, by chance, are you on social media? Do you use like Instagram? And she'd say yes. And then I would say, oh, I'm giving too many details into this. This was just supposed to be a sacrifice story. But then I would just really want to give you these moving the bracelets things. And then she would say, yes, I love Instagram. And we would get connected. I'd be like, hey, do you have your phone on you really quick? And then she'd pass me her phone and be like, I'm just easier to find. Let me type myself in because I'm public. So then I would find myself. I'd follow myself. I'd immediately take my own phone back, follow her back. And as I walk away, say, great to meet you. So good. We could maybe even take a photo, whatever. Not with the baby. That's weird. And then I'd walk away, not weird for Jen and I, but, you know, if I just met her. And then I'd walk away and I would send her a message and I would probably voice message her and text or whatever and say, hey, Jen, it was really great to meet you again, you and Miss Savannah. I would just say something about interacting. So that way, if I ever go back to it, if it gets lost or anything like that, I remember I met her in person, where I met her, that I did get to meet her baby. I say her baby's name, and it just re-solidifies that engagement that we had together. And that is just...
Yeah, so how to manipulate people 101, right? Into thinking that you care for them and that they met a friend, a potential friend, and all you want to do is recruit them into your pruvit business. As a shy and introverted person, all I hear here is so much anxiety. Like, imagine if you have to do this. I mean, just imagine having to meet new people all the time. That alone is so fucking stressful to me, would be so stressful to me. I don't do that. I work from home. I don't really meet new people unless it's like on YouTube or Instagram, which is fine. I'm comfortable with that. But in real life, God, you see, I'm starting to stutter and mumble because it just stresses me out.
Just an amplified pro tip on how to utilize meeting new people in person. I did not have to have a business conversation per se in that interaction, but this is like rotating the bangles off, sacrificing your time and getting out there and meeting people, networking yourself, getting on live video is going to sacrifice your time. In order to say yes to this right here, I have to say no to other things, and that's what sacrifice looks like. Whenever I was first starting off, I sacrificed my own time efforts. I didn't get paid, but I found out I was in direct sales, I was in a company, and there was a Kayla, okay, like Jessie Lee earlier said, a Dana. There was a Kayla that I was like, okay, well, I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to do, like, let me help you. Let me add value. Let me just show up and insert myself so that I can help you, right? And as I did that, I got to learn a lot of success tips. I had to sacrifice to do that, but then I started catching success by watching, by helping, by supporting, by being the... actually increasing the value that she could even give, because I was taking some of her time off of her hands, allowing her to do her success thing. And then I watched that happen too. Okay, you have a team of people that help you. You're able to do more. You're able to scale more, which is, again, what our systems and our culture do for you. Ka-chow. Okay, so another thing is, like, so then you can set goals around this. You can set goals around these sacrifices that you make. In order to get the things that you've never had, you have to be willing to do things you've never done. And so we show you how to do that online, on social media, which makes the sacrifices shift a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily make it easier, because now I'm trying to make sacrifices and I'm not leaving the house and able to work outside of the house. I'm making sacrifices and time exchanges with the people inside of my house, while I also have to work while I'm doing that. You see what I'm saying? And so how can you make this well-oiled machine of your life? How can you turn it from showing up like a hobby into showing up like it's a job, into showing up like it's a business, and evolving that? And the more you get better at it through your sacrifice.
Good choice of wording there. Showing up like it's a business, because it's not. You're an independent contractor. It's not your business. It's none of those things. So yeah, but you can imagine that it is.
Sacrifices through. I just have so many freaking things on my brain now that the original original angle I was taking with you guys earlier is not the same as it is right now, but I just wanted to come on here and give you guys some fiery tips on just transforming and being able to say yes to things in the future. You have to be the future focused thinker. You have to think long term. You cannot sit here and dwell in the negative thoughts that you used to have. The way that I kind of kicked this off is like, okay, if I would have been stuck on the negative thoughts of this surgery that happened to me it started Friday night. Like I started feeling ill and painful after getting these nails done. Joshua kept laughing. He's like, good thing you got your nails. And it was like literally on your way home from your nails, you're like, I don't think I can make it back out. Like I was like, I have to poop so bad. If I don't poop, like I just don't think, like I just felt a poop pain. That's all it was, because it's your gastro thing happening down here, okay? And that was not the problem, okay? But that's what I thought the problem was. Then I drove 40 minutes from home, then I had to drive 40 minutes back. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I could have looked at all of that and thought of things as negative, which would have brought me downward spiral. You can look at the challenges that you are faced with and the pain that you are feeling as a negative thing, or you can look at it like, okay, what do I need to learn to get myself out of this pain? Where do I need to grow myself so that I can feel more positive about this scenario that's around me? And it's just so crazy to even say that, because you guys, I know there are some of the biggest things that get thrown in our way that we would never have expected. Like, I don't know, a freaking surgery, okay? And so many more things that can happen that can be dropped on you like that can shift your world in an instant, that can rattle your belief, that can rattle your faith, rattle your confidence, rattle you to your core of, oh my God, how did I get here? I'm getting all worked up. My belly button feels weird.
Okay, this is horrible to watch, honestly. She should not be doing this. She should not be doing this live stream 3 days after she had surgery. Clearly, because she's in pain, but there's still 15 minutes left to this live stream, so she's in pain, she's ignoring it, and she's gonna keep doing this live stream. And honestly, the fact that this is an opportunity call is even worse. Again, like, look at me. I'm in physical pain. I just had surgery, but I am live streaming on Instagram and Facebook. Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to do this? Courtney, this is not a good look.
I actually have a detoxing. I have an appointment in 34 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up. It's really, truly the littlest things that I did. Hello, Lynn. I love you. It's the minute details, and it's also the biggest things that I changed. It was like, in order to change your mind, you have to change everything. It starts up here, but it's like, it really is outward already. It's the physicalness around you. It's the energy of your space that you're trying to work in. It's the energy of the people that you wake up to every morning. It's the energy of the person that you've been for the last however many, even 6 months, because you can change so fast, but the reflection of who you have shown up as the last 90 days, you're bringing that energy with you right now. So if it's been a great last 90 days or a rough last 90 days, you're bringing that energy into today, because majority of your thoughts are from yesterday, and majority of those thoughts are negative. Okay, so you have to change that before anything else can change, and it takes sacrifice. It is the number one thing that changed everything, because whenever I felt the pain of saying yes to a new opportunity, felt the pain of starting over, felt the pain of going to zero and not knowing who was going to follow me or who would believe in me, or if have I been bringing enough value to even be able to ask people to make this shift with me, right? Like, we overthink so many things, but if you just start today and you just make the decision, I'm willing to sacrifice, I'm willing to commit, I'm willing to show up, I want to figure out how to be the yes mom, I want to figure out how to have the savings account, I want to figure out how to build and scale to 6 and 7 figures by working from my phone like Courtney talks about. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to figure that stuff out. Once you make that decision, then you start to choose every day. After the decision is made, your brain is rewiring itself to be different and finding out, how do I become the energy I want to attract? How do I become this different person that it starts to attract different people? Once you start to do one thing after the other, you just show up differently. You speak differently. You vibrate at a higher energy. You attract a different level of person. And if you are looking around you and thinking it's negative, it's not what I wanted it to be, it's not where I thought I would be, yada, 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 you got to shut yourself up right then and there, and you have to start speaking to yourself differently. Okay, I didn't want this, so how do I get the next level? Okay, what actions do I need to take? Because what have I been doing? And let's not do any of that. Depending on, I'm being extreme here. Okay, but you see what I'm saying. What's working, what's not working, you take what you need, you leave the rest. It smells amazing downstairs. Joshua made food. I have now 31 minutes before this appointment, and so it's really, really important to me. I need to see if, I had actually, No, I have another task to do. Okay. So, I just wanted to say I love you guys. I wanted to spitfire that onto you because I just had so much in my brain. It takes constant sacrifice. The only way that I was able to not only allow myself to grow, I set the example for everyone else who watched me, and that I was leading and every step of the way. So it's like achieving. If y'all be able to hear me.
She's just a mess, isn't she? This is really painful to watch. I'm gonna try to change my lighting here because I feel like the flickering is getting out of control. Maybe I just need a bigger ring light.
Achieving the millionaire status, lifetime earnings, achieving that millionaire status, lifetime earnings, and prove it over 5 years is a huge success point. And I'm so proud of it. It was an emotional moment, even though whenever it happened, it was emotional, but when it was happening, I wasn't I was in the bathroom. I came back in, somebody said, congratulations. I was like, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden I walk over and I was like, but Sasha, you're going up there, right? And he was like, no, you. And I didn't even understand what was happening. And for those of you who saw that video, but it's that was cool and all. But it's the fact that I'm not alone. There are multiple leaders that have come into the business because I said yes. And I don't take credit for their successes or for their lows or their challenges or the things that the people that win and the people that feel like they don't win, okay? Because I don't like the F word, okay? Because I don't think that we fail. We find a bunch of ways that don't work. And for all of that, it's the ripple effect that because I said yes, now it's myself and one other millionaire just broke, and then 2 other millionaires will break, guaranteed by the end of this next, by some point in 2023, because I don't know what their total lifetime earnings is. So it will happen within the next 9 months, 10 months. We're in February, whatever. I just can't think. It will happen before December 15th payday, or by December 15th payday. I'm just so excited. And it's like, this is so real. It's so real, but I've watched every single one of them make so many sacrifices that thousands and millions of other people aren't willing to make. And so you have to ask yourself, what are my core values? What am I willing to sacrifice? What does it mean to me? Because you cannot show up as a hobbyist expecting millionaire results. It doesn't work like that. You can't show up as a hobbyist even expecting a paycheck like you get at a job. You don't get to show up and clock in and sit back and not post content if that's your job. You don't get to not hit the live button and if you're trying to build online, okay? You don't just get to join, not sacrifice by having to get uncomfortable and hit the live button and expect to get paid every month.
Clicking the live button is not what pays you though. Selling the product and recruiting is what pays you. So this is kind of misleading to say that you clicking the live button is gonna lead to you being paid.
You have to have conversations. You have to be willing to sacrifice. And at the same time, when you work hard, you're not always saying no to the things that are super important to you, like your family. When you work really hard and you commit to the process and you commit to it like a job and you show up in it like a business, you are able to then say yes more often to your family. It starts to shift, it starts to evolve, but you have to like be constantly reevaluating so that you aren't in this living contradiction, that you're making sure that you're doing this for the right reasons, you're sacrificing for the right reasons, you're sacrificing at the right times, and you're rewarding yourself at the right times. It's a flow, okay? Like that's where my brain was going, because I'm like, I know I'm saying these extreme things and I'm making it like it's this way. Are there other ways to have success? Yes, absolutely. And I know that your perception is your reality. So whatever you're dealing with right now, you're hearing me a totally different way. Just to remind you of that, okay? Where I'm at in life and with how I'm speaking, like I'm firing myself up because I'm so excited because I know what this does. And for some of you that are living in a negative world right now, this is emotional for you. And I totally understand that and I respect that. And for you, the steps and the actions that you have to take are different than those of someone who's ready to run. How long should someone stay? Thank you for asking a question. Currently reading Flexibility is Strength chapter and the Discipline is Destiny. I love this. Flexibility is strength. Totally aligns with what you were speaking of a little bit ago. How long should someone stay consistent in business with no tangible result, sales recruits, before changing something? Okay, so that I think there's a few things that happens with that. Asking yourself, first of all, the biggest thing that I have talked to myself about is the grass is not greener on the other side. It is green where you water it. Okay. And in the first, I told you guys about sacrifices that I made, that I was like investing my time with Kayla. I was investing my time with her all the time. And so when it came to the point of like being there for 2 years, and seeing success and experiencing it, to be totally honest, I started to see an opportunity on the other side that felt like the grass was greener. And so it felt better to me. It felt like, oh my gosh, that's where I want to water my lawn. I want to water my lawn over there. I want my lawn to look like that. But I asked myself, okay, what does that shift look like for me? Have I given this everything that I could possibly give? And the answer was no. No. I didn't feel like it was, okay? Sometimes we're really, really hard on ourselves. I was like going through a pregnancy and a birth all at that same time. And so people were saying that to me as well. But I had already been watching for months leading up to that. It wasn't just that I was birthing a human. So then I waited. It was 4 months prior to that moment. Then it was 6 months after that moment. And every time going through these questions, okay, do I believe in what I'm doing? Do I stand behind this opportunity and this product line? And do I stand behind the culture and the people that I'm doing it with? Okay. And some of those were half yeses. This was such a hard thing for me to do. And really the relationships that I had built inside of that made it the hardest. But ultimately, I kept being pulled to something different that I knew that I could get more passionate behind. And everything in my world changed, and we went to a negative mindset in that shift 6 months later, launching into a new company, our previous one, first time ever online network marketing sales, moved across the country, all of these things in a negative spiral, and really didn't take any new action outside of that for a couple of months. Okay, so I lost like my go fast bonuses and challenges. Like I lost that opportunity because I didn't start working until outside of that window because of everything that happened. So it's just an example of reality of it is that I was in a low point. I asked myself, did I do everything that it took? So I worked really, really hard to make sure that I gave it everything that I had. And at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I know that this is the best decision for me and my family, because ultimately, the biggest decision was that I wanted to find a way successfully with systems and culture and leadership and all of that, all of the things that I knew that I needed, all of the beliefs and the believing in what I do, what I sell, all those things. I had to make sure all that lined up still in the new place. But the biggest thing is that my time freedom of being able to work from my phone versus having to be in people's homes, that was the game changer. That was the game changer for me. That was like, it doesn't matter how
I feel like this point that they like to say is one of the best and biggest pros as to why you should join an MLM is you can work from your home, you can work from your phone, you can work from anywhere. Well, it didn't work before, but it especially doesn't work, in my opinion, now because there's so many remote opportunities out there. There's so many companies that turn to be fully remote or at least hybrid companies during 2020 and 2021. My company is the same. It went from being fully in office on site to 100% remote. And we are 100% remote. They kept the office that they have, but most of us, we all work remote. I think there's like 2 people that work from the office from the whole company. We started hiring people abroad from other countries. It's not like you can work from anywhere as well, as long as you get the Mac, you get the laptops and everything, you get all the equipment, as long as you have not even Wi-Fi. If you have a hotspot on your phone, you can work from anywhere. And I say this all the time, but I should be talking about this more because I do work from anywhere. I have that freedom of location. I work from Croatia regularly, from Ireland. I worked from buses, cars, airports. Like I can work from anywhere, and I don't even have to have Wi-Fi. After the storm back home, I went home and our Wi-Fi wasn't fixed, but I had hotspot and I was hotspotting off my phone every day, still getting my work done. So, and if you join Pruvit, you're just gonna end up working for free. You're not gonna get anything in return anyway. So what the fuck is the point, you know?
Along the list of, I love this opportunity, didn't matter how long that list was, because the part that made me want to shift did not make sense to keep with all of those. Like it didn't flow. So when you ask me how long should someone stay consistent in business with no tangible results, it's not that I didn't have tangible results. It's just that really when you look at what is consistency, there's something off in the wheel of life for it to not be getting results. And so you have to find out for yourself where in the wheel of life are your results.
It's not about the wheel of life, Courtney. It's that the business model is set up so the majority of people are gonna fail and only the few percent, less than 1%, improve it on top, earn all the money. So it really isn't about any of the things that she's talking about. It's just the business model. And if the business model is set up against you, you have 99% of chances of never making any profit. Yeah, that's what the problem is. It's not you, it's not your life, it's not anything else. It's the business model.
Technically not coming through, or your energy isn't coming through in one area of your life, of the wheel of life, of like spirituality, of your relationships, of your home life, your partnership, whatever that looks like for you. There could be just one area that's dipped lower. Maybe it's self-confidence, maybe it's something like that is causing your consistent work ethic to not be as effective in getting you results. I hope that makes sense. Okay. But like you're saying, that's ultimately, you have to constantly evolve that. So you're asking, all right, I'm going to get off here now. That was my second alarm. So you're asking before changing something. That's a really broad question. It's a really broad question to say, stay consistent in this without getting tangible results before changing something. In a general statement, I was giving you big picture perspective. In a general statement, like for instance, I told you kind of there that I was like questioning it for like 10 months. Okay. Another thing inside of those 10 months, there were also little things that I was evaluating. Okay, well, like, how can I do this better? How can I do this better? How can I fill my calendar better? How can I like get better at parties to make more money? I was like, so
girl, your second alarm just went off. Just get off the damn live stream.
I would really try to, once I was changing something kind of big, I wanted to put it to use for about 30 days at a time, because that would turn it into a habit, which meant that I was spending more time making sure that it was actually I was getting really good at it. Like if it became a habit of mine, I was getting really good at it. If at that point it was like, it became obvious of, is this a bad habit or is this a good habit? Kind of like going live. You know, like going live, the first 30 days, you're not necessarily going to know, is this actually, it's something I can promise you it works. So if you're not getting results with your live, there are things that you need to shift, like the lighting, like how you're putting yourself together. As an example, like the content that you're creating, or that the value that you're giving, the content value that you're talking about. And if you're not being consistent on, do you have notes that you're reading from, and good lighting, and putting yourself together every day that you're doing it for the 30 days in a row? Or are you just kind of throwing it together 30% of the time, 40% of the time? So you have to kind of, I gave you a lot in there, but ultimately there's just different kind of, because it's such a broad question, there's just different ways to answer that. Thank you for asking it. I love you guys. I appreciate you. That's, again, kind of like, you're kind of asking like,
Again, it's the business model. It's not the lighting or your content or anything, but I'm gonna wrap that one up here. I think we've heard enough from Courtney. Shortney, let me know down below what you thought about this. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. You're a trooper. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button if you would like to support my channel. That's a nice free way to do that. And speaking of support, thank you to all my channel members. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.